Welcome to the ancient Egyptian city of white walls. Today we'll travel back in time to 4,000 years ago, to the era known as the Bronze Age. Located on the banks of the river Nile, the city was one of the most important urban centers of its time. We are following a traveling merchant from the countryside who had some wares to sell in the city. The local marketplace was in fact a hub of activity and commerce. Its narrow winding streets were lined with vendors selling all kinds of goods, from textiles and perfumes to pottery and jewelry. After traveling for several days, the man was feeling weary from his long journey. As soon as he passed through the city gate, he was greeted by a multitude of enticing scents. His attention was immediately drawn to a nearby stall, where large baskets overflowing with dates were on display. Craving a quick snack, he decided to purchase some. He was enjoying the sweet flavor of his snack when a white baboon snatched the dates from his hands. The animal jumped away from the angry man and climbed onto a nearby statue. This was clearly a temple dedicated to Thoth, the ancient Egyptian baboon god. These animals played an important role in the ancient Egyptian religion, and they were often depicted in art and sculpture. Thoth was the moon god of writing, science, judgment, knowledge and wisdom. It's quite likely that ancient Egyptians saw the human-like qualities of baboons as a kind of divine manifestation. Thoth was depicted as a secretary in the ceremony of the heart weighing. This ritual was extremely important in Egyptian mythology. The heart of the deceased person had to be weighed against a feather to judge if he was worthy of entering the Hall of Mud. The baboon carefully recorded the result of each ceremony. In the underworld, there was the Lake of Fire. It was a dangerous place that was guarded by 4 baboons. They could protect the soul of the person who knew the right incantations. If he didn't know the correct formula, then the dead soul would be destroyed by fire. With such an important religious aspect, it is no wonder that baboons were kept by the thousands in temples. Many of them were mummified in sacred rituals. A whistle attracted the baboon. His handler called it back. It wasn't unusual for nobility to keep them as pets, but they were often trained to help with some work. For example, gathering fruit from tall trees. The guy was angry about losing his neck, but he had something more important to think about. You see, I may have told you a lie. He wasn't at the market to sell his wares. He actually had a criminal plan in mind. Some days ago, he overheard a drunken merchant talking about an expedition that had just returned from the east, carrying a wide array of luxury goods. Among them, there were rare and precious blue stones from a far-off land. The thief moved around without arousing any suspicion, his eyes scanning the stalls for any opportunity to strike. Finally, he spotted what he was looking for, a small box full of blue stones. With a deft hand, he snatched the precious box and slipped away into the crowds. But his getaway was bound to be short-lived. Soon, a loud commotion erupted behind him, and he turned to see the fearsome baboon and his handler in hot pursuit. The thief ran as fast as he could, his heart pounding in his chest as the baboon closed in. But even as the man dodged through the narrow streets of white walls, he couldn't shake the relentless animal.
"Stop right there, criminal scum!"
As he turned a corner, the thief found himself face to face with a group of city guards. With no other options, he drew a knife and prepared to fight. But the baboon was too quick, and with a lightning-fast motion, he knocked the dagger out of the thief's hand. Do you think I'm making this story up? Well, not entirely. This short story is inspired by what we can see depicted on the walls of T.P. Meg's tomb. In the scene, a man is using a trained baboon to catch a thief. The poor devil is unable to shake off the baboon, which has latched onto his leg. The baboon's handler quickly moved in and apprehended the thief, recovering the stolen box and returning it to its rightful owner. The crowds that had gathered to watch the chase cheered as the thief was led away in chains. The baboon continued to stand watch over the city of white walls, ensuring that its streets remained safe. I hope you enjoyed this little snapshot from the Bronze Age. And if you would like to support this little baboon guard, you can join our Patreon, link in the description. And before you go, we would like to know in the comments which animal of ancient Egypt you would like us to talk about. See you next time, in the mists of time.